Hi, Dave Smith with Police One. I'm here with Tim Peggs of Presynct Technologies. You know, Tim, we've talked a lot in the past about paperless record keeping and documentation, and everybody loves that talk.
Sure.
But the problem is there's still a lot of hardware that goes along with it, and this is something to think about, but you're changing all that. Talk about what's coming up.
Yeah, so we have our platform for paperless report management, and it works very well in the MDC environment with your Windows computers and things of that nature. And what we're trying now to do is push that platform out into the alternative devices. So you have your iPads, Android tablets, your iPhones, your Android phones, all of that. And there's a whole other way of entering data into our system that we're going to be tapping into in the next iteration of our application.
Right, I think a lot of people, and this is one of the problems, that people think in terms of hardware. They're always thinking of an MDC and MDT, and again, those are valid technologies, but this is a computer.
Correct.
And with the technology today, I can do with almost everything with this, I could do with a full-scale desktop, actually, right?
Yeah, so if you think about from a device perspective, how easy it would be to do a field interview if I could just use my device.
Right.
I put your information in, I take your picture, I record your voice, we're going to be able to do thumbprints at some point in time. You take all that data from this device, you shoot it back to the server, and there it is.
Wow.
It's available to you.
So what you're saying is using, and again, I get that we've been spending a great deal of time and energy hardening our MDCs and MDTs. I don't need to harden this. It's already built to be hardened to some degree, but just the cost. This thing is a fraction of the cost of the hardware we've had in the past. I can distribute it throughout my personnel. And what you're saying, the key is going to be the applications.
Correct. Yeah, so the device, from the people that I've spoken to about the devices, they say, hey, it's not hardened, but it doesn't necessarily have to be hardened because you could buy 10 iPads for the price of one MDC. So they've come to accept that as fact. So you're going to break a couple over time.
Right.
But then it comes down to the device is nice, but you do need a robust application on the device as well. So we're trying to go from the idea of the iPad being a consumption device, so instead of going somewhere and getting data and displaying it on the device, we're looking at the ability for the officers in the field to put their data into the device and then sync that with their back-end applications, whether it be the CAD, the RMS, case management, things of that nature.
So really by using your imagination, what you're saying is we're going to come up with technological apps that are going to turn all of these communication devices, tablets, Androids, iPhones, into input devices and recording devices. And that's something we hardly, some of these come with actually relatively high quality cameras, as well as the ability to video a scene or a crime scene, record a crime scene. So what's happening is we're not only paperless now, we're walking, talking production facility, literally crime scenes.
Yep.
This is phenomenal, and you're talking about fingerprint technology as well, right?
Yeah, so we're waiting for the actual Apple device to come out with the fingerprint technology. You can do it now, you can get kind of an image, but it doesn't quite pass all the APHIS requirements yet, so we're kind of waiting for that to catch up.
Right, but how far away, that can be away? 3 years ago we didn't know about tablets, and now they're ubiquitous. Everyone has a tablet,
exactly. So you figure the way Apple goes and how quickly things get developed, and you have 400,000 people creating apps for them in the App Store, somebody's going to come up with something in a couple months, I'm sure.
Well, that's the thing, and then you're going to be around to help us figure out how to use it into your system as well. And that's the thing, is you don't have to change your forms, you don't have to change your documentation in terms of your record keeping, but your ability, your capacity to create it, to store it, to transmit it, it's just going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, so you're going to turn every officer into a better investigator at the end of the day. So officers get the investigative tools that were generally left to detectives and things of that nature. They'll have all of that at their fingertips at the point and scene of the crime.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is the kind of stuff that you know what, if 15 years ago, if we were all sitting around talking about this would be somebody wrote a science fiction novel, and now we're living it, and that's the thing that's great. But those people out there that want to find out more about the days, not science fiction, but science reality technology, where do we go?
You can go to www.presynct.com, that's spelled Presynct.com, or you can call us at our 800 number, it's 866-PRESYNCT or 866-773-7962.
Follow up on that. This is neat stuff. I can't wait to hear what's coming up next time, Tim. Thanks.
All right, great. See you next year.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.